So today I'm talking about the band The Legion of the Damned. They are from the Netherlands and they play a mixture of thrash metal, death metal, and some black metal. The name of the album is The Poison Chalice. It was released on June 9th through Napalm Records. The band has been around for a while. They formed back in 1992, but they had a different name. It was called Occult. It wasn't until 2006 where they changed their name to Legion of the Damned. There are 8 albums under this band's name, but if you count the albums with their previous name, Occult, it would be 13, and basically this band has been around for a while. They have 2 steady members, which have been in the band throughout its existence, and they are Maurice Swinkels on vocals, Erik Fleuren on drums, and then there are other members, Gielen on bass. He's been in the band since 2006. Twan Geel on guitars 2011, and Fabian Verweij on guitars since 2020. My apologies if I butchered any of those. So there are some different lyrical themes on this album. For example, Contamination talks about a viral outbreak, basically killing everybody in sight. Behold the Beyond talks a lot about black magic and incantations, opening these darkened portals, and a lot of horror movie stuff. Retaliation is about the horrors of war and how they go on without end and cause death and destruction. Savage Intent is about humans are hardwired for killing and violence. So basically those were my interpretations of reading the lyrics. They may not be 100% correct in general, but most of the lyrics in the album are very dark and evil. Let's talk about the songs. And the album opens with Saints in Torment. It's a dark and haunting instrumental at first and has these arpeggiated guitar chords, but after the first few seconds the song comes right out the gate with some very fast drum beats, aggressive vocals, and brutal galloping guitar riffs. The song goes back and forth between its old school death metal sound and classic thrash metal galloping guitar riffs. Towards the end of the song we get some darker spoken word parts and some cackling witch laughter, and that kind of adds to the evilness of the song. Contamination starts with a soundbite, and it's probably from a movie or something. This man says, I will enjoy killing one person every single day, or something like that. Right after that, they continue with faster drum beats, brutal guitar riffs. The song features a melodic twin guitar lead, and it comes in the second half of the song. They did a music video for this song as well. Progressive Destructor is more on the classic thrash metal side. I'm thinking of something like early Creator or Slayer. It has a slightly slower pace and some dark and evil thrash metal guitar riffs. As the song moves towards the middle of the song, it moves more towards an old school death metal style. I thought the use of isolated chugging guitar riffs worked very well with the song. Skull's Door on the Trader's Gate has some elements of old school death metal mixed with some classic black metal. The song was filled with blast beats and tremolo picking. Even though it's one of the heavier songs in the album, I also felt there was still some melody within all this chaos. Also incorporated some galloping palm muted guitar riffs, giving it a thrashy feel as well. Behold the Beyond was the longest song in the album at 6 minutes and 45 seconds. The song was dark, heavy, and menacing. The vocals were very dark and aggressive. There were also some heavy chugging guitar riffs that kind of gave the song a very heavy and powerful feel. The pummeling and aggressive sound was maintained throughout most of the near 7-minute runtime, with the exception of them bringing in some church organs during the last 15 seconds. Retaliation was more of a blackened thrash song. There's lots of evil vibes with guitars playing in a style that's typical of black metal. The song has some guitar squeals about halfway through it, and that's about all I have to say. Savage Intent was more like a mixture of heavy metal and old school thrash metal. I thought it was a little more of an accessible song. They slowed the rhythm down on this one. Has some cool galloping guitar riffs, remind me of early Metallica. I'm thinking of something like the Four Horsemen, something like that. This probably would have been a good single, but I don't think they made a video for this. And Chimes of Flagellation, another song reminded me of classic thrash metal. Maybe similar to some of the more extreme bands on the thrash metal spectrum, such as Slayer, Creator, Morbid Saint, those types of bands. Has some dark and evil heavy guitar riffs, some rapid fire drumming. Has a pretty cool melodic breakdown about halfway through the song, and they kind of change gears a little bit. Then Beheading of the Godhead, one of the more thrashier songs. This was one that had a music video as well. It was a single. They have chugging guitars. The vocals are very harsh, probably closer to black metal. And one of the songs that moves at a mid-pace, not the type of song that moves at breakneck speed. The final track is the title track called the Poison Chalice. Final song reminded me of one of those slower songs from maybe like Slayer, something like from the South of Heaven album, where they play a lot of dark and evil guitar riffs mixed with chugging guitars. They also included some really deep gutturals, similar to a band like Cannibal Corpse, and some faster traditional thrash metal guitar riffs. In conclusion, this is an album for people who like extreme metal. It's a mixture of death metal and thrash metal, hints of black metal. I would say the first half of the album is more on the death metal side. In the middle, there's some black metal. And I think the last 3 or 4 songs were more like old school thrash metal. I don't know if that was intentional. That's just my impression of this. It's a good album. It's an album that's heavy all the way through. They don't really stray from their formula. They're not doing any soft ballads or anything like that. You get some clean guitars, some atmospheric stuff. It's kept at a minimum, but that's about it. My score is going to be a 7.5 out of 10. Comment what you think. Please remember to like this video. It helps me with the algorithm. Please comment. I like to respond to all comments, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out this video right here. It will be something related. I will see you in the next one.